Mr. Morano, you are the assistant principal at the high school?
That's right.
At what point did the school become aware of Mrs. Novotny's improprieties?
It was determined the abuses started last fall, not long after Mrs. Novotny returned from a regional science fair with a team of students.
See, this is when you're setting up the display. Oh, and this next one is great, Mrs. Novotny, where you're lighting it, and there is that huge spark. Whoa. And look at this one. See, it's when that janitor guy came over and started yelling at us. I thought we were gonna get kicked out, but you were great. I mean, look at this. And this. And this one. We had the best display. I don't care what the judges said.
Yeah, great judges.
Well, not really. I mean, they should have picked us for nationals, don't you think?
What?
I think it was rigged.
Why would you say that?
Well, I was sure we were gonna win because that one judge, Mr. Hendricks, kept hanging around. See, he practically photobombed half of my shots.
Mr. Hendricks is on the committee for next year's regional science fair. And so am I. So that's what we were talking about. Hey, time to go. Show me the rest tomorrow.
I got video from the ribbon ceremony, too.
Sounds great. Can't believe you just emailed Phil. Guess what? One of my kids noticed us, even took photos. Seeing your face reminds me how much I miss you.
I'm back.
Kim,
Forgot my hoodie.
you startled me.
Sorry. Goodbye.
Here's photo 1 of 22. Warning, these are hot, hot, hot. Use oven mitts.
Mel? What are you doing in here?
George. Wow, you startled me. Too many interruptions when I try to work in my classroom. I needed to get caught up on the regional science fair planning.
Oh yes, that's you and Phil Hendricks, right?
He's one of the people working on it, yes. It's a huge, huge project. 3 states. Lots of emailing because it's, huge.
Hey, you can opt out of the planning committee if it's too much.
Oh no, I definitely want this.
Don't be a martyr. Your teaching comes first, Mel.
Absolutely. Of course. I'll work on this some other time. Can't wait to see you at fall break. David is obsessed with his fishing trip, so he has no idea. As soon as he's out the door, I'll call for the rental car and drive all night to see you. You can warm me up when I get there.
We can't get the tubing into the stopper.
Setup is part of your assignment. Try again. Print. Not print. Oh no. No. Hey, George. Did you take a document from the printer just now?
I just picked up a whole pile for the principal. Why?
Oh no.
Working from the email that was accidentally printed out, we discovered that Mrs. Novotny had been using school equipment and her school email account to pursue a non-professional relationship with Mr. Hendricks. This was going on during school hours, sometimes during actual class time. It was quite a shock. Mrs. Novotny has always been one of the top teachers in our school.
Thank you, Mr. Morano. You can view the series of emails between Mrs. Novotny and Mr. Hendricks in Attachment A. And just a word of warning, some of the text and photos are explicit. You'll also find several other exhibits, letters regarding Mrs. Novotny's excellence as a teacher. These testimonials paint the picture of an outstanding professional who was liked by her students, appreciated by her peers, and trusted by her administration. However, ladies and gentlemen, I can cite several license revocations that have been imposed for similar improprieties. These must be factored into your decision. You must not ignore or undervalue the impact of Mrs. Novotny's misuse of school time and school resources. Even the best people can make foolish choices. That is true. But it is also true that what Mrs. Novotny was doing was just plain wrong. She was abusing the time-on-task requirements of her job. She was abusing the policies of her district regarding the use of school communications equipment for personal use. She was abusing the trust of her whole community when she risked exposing her students to the very inappropriate content of these personal messages. Students could certainly have been made to feel uncomfortable by her actions. As you consider the consequences Mrs. Novotny will face, think about the ethical messages her behavior conveyed. Does this teacher's prior excellence outweigh her very clear violations of Nebraska's professional standards? You'll have to decide.